Draymond Green has one of the hottest podcasts in the country, and he's talking. His whole thing is new media. And real quick, I want to get your take on Draymond. To me, the idea of new media is highly intriguing, and I think there's a lot of people are into it. And the idea is people, like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless, from Draymond's perspective, they don't know that much about the game, so they compensate by talking about drama, and that people are tired of it, and they actually want to learn about a sport and get in-depth analysis. I would think that he's right on with this, because when you and I talk in depth, people love it. When Jackhammer and I do film breakdowns, people love it. I think there definitely is a market for like non-drama, analysis-based sports talk. I think that's right on. What do you think?
I think the two factors that make Draymond a superstar in the new media world is how candid he's willing to be. So he's totally candid, and he's got access. Yep. So here's Steph, here's Andre Iguodala, here's this person. If you have access and you're candid, you cannot be stopped.
It's true. That is true. Now, all I want to say is
those are the two factors. And like the Skip Baylesses of the world, they're in a studio, and so the players view it as you're a sniper from above, and you're not down on their level. You're just taking shots at them from afar in some safe studio. They resent that. Then the players themselves taking ownership of it. I think that's also the future. They're not all going to be as candid as Draymond Green. They're not going to be as willing to be as candid, but they're going to have the access. The players will have better access than the media to other players. And if they are willing to be candid and they're totally confident in how they're going to, bring themselves forward and how they're going to distribute their message, I think they win. I think any player that's willing to be candid already has incredible access and will be a great media superstar.
I think Draymond has the potential to be a great media superstar, but what kind of makes me feel, I think some of his stuff is inconsistent. Like, he's candid, but about media people. When he talks about other basketball players, everyone's absolutely incredible. That was absolutely incredible. This guy's, I think part of new media is, you're not allowed to criticize athletes if you're not a professional athlete. And even other professional athletes shouldn't be criticizing each other because they're all in it together. That to me is very boring. I like the analysis, but I don't like the endless praise. And then when he criticizes, like, he's on a crusade with Kendrick Perkins. He hates Kendrick Perkins. Whatever, man. And last night I think he went on and called Kendrick Perkins a coon. Like, dude, what? That's not new media. That's not new media. That's old media. That is very offensive, and it's name calling. So I feel like, Draymond, you have the power to do like this new thing in basketball, in media, and it's working. But that's whack. I don't like that at all. Stick to like new media, not old media. I thought that was pretty whack.
Well, okay, but let's talk about it for a second. What is the attraction of it? It's a soap opera.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's a soap opera. What is the NBA?
That's old media,
the NBA, you could argue that the NBA discussion on the floor is surpassed by the NBA discussion off the floor.
Yep.
What are guys going to do in free agency? Who likes who? Who doesn't like who? Who's got a vendetta against this guy or that guy? Yeah. So it's a combination of candid, access, and soap opera. But I agree with you. The every player's great, but let's be super hypercritical on some random media person. It's like, that's tired, and that will run its course, and people will see it for what it is.
Last thing I want to say, again, I think Draymond has a lot of potential. He could be the best, but like he's talking about new media. Dude, you work for Colin Cowherd and iHeartMedia. That's as established as it gets. Frankly, what Larry and I are doing right now is new media. If Draymond were doing this all on his own, and he could on YouTube, that's new media. But to be on Colin Cowherd's network and to take shots at people on ESPN, that just seems hypocritical. Like, this is the same thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But again, Draymond, I interviewed him one-on-one 10 years ago. He's phenomenal. He's the real deal. When he breaks down basketball, defense, anything, I would watch that. I mean, it's the best. He has the best basketball analysis in the world. But now he's on this like revenge tour ever since they won. Like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You gotta do that, man. Come on. You know?
But it works. It works. People like it and people fall for it. But yeah, there was a part in the Warriors Celtics series, Grant, where they kind of gave us a live mic on Marcus Smart, and he was so analytical and so cerebral and so pointed with his on-court discussion with his teammates about how to handle, the pick and roll and how to defend the pick and roll. He wanted it done so specific, and he was totally calm and but he meant what he was saying. I thought that was, guys like that who know the game cold. I think there's an analysis level they can get to that media people can't get to. So I think people are always seeking out that absolute wisdom, but also they want someone who's candid. And not everybody was willing to be Draymond Green and kind of wear it. But if you're going to be candid, you got to be candid all the way through. You can't just cover all your buddies and then be super candid about, some writer. After a while, I think he's new to the game, so everybody's giving him a wide berth. But if he goes forward for another 5 years and every player's, patting on the back and he's got all these media gripes and media grudges, I think it will get old.
Yeah, and again,
but he's awesome to listen to because he's super candid and he's emotional and he's real.
Yeah, he is. And he really dislikes Charles Barkley. That's another guy he really disrespects. Well,
I don't know. Does he really? They work together on TNT.
Maybe not. But again, he criticizes Barkley. And I think Barkley is like a figurehead of the old media in Draymond's eyes. I like Charles Barkley because to me,
another guy, very candid, very smart. Two guys that are candid and smart.
And he will criticize players. He will praise players. But when he says something, I'm never thinking, boy, whose pocket is Charles in? Like, who is he not trying to offend? He doesn't give a fuck. He'll offend you. I love that. Draymond, I don't think he's in that position. You're in the league still. You can't just – remember when Patrick Beverley I had those 2 days on ESPN where he was like, Chris Paul's trash. And I was like, okay, I'm watching. And I think he got some attention and pretty much became typical vanilla analyst. Everyone's great. I don't want – he's still in the league. It must be tough to be that.
The one about Draymond that I loved, Grant, was Rodney Magruder. Remember, he kept saying Rodney Magruder. The way he kept saying Rodney Magruder's last name, it was awesome. It was awesome. Green is awesome. I think he's going to be the next Barkley. I really do. I think he'll be what does Barkley got? 2-3 more years, and then Barkley's going to probably, ride off into the sunset, and Draymond will be the new Barkley because I think he'll get more willing to speak out on players as he gets further away from being a player.
Because to me, Draymond has the ability to be the best basketball analyst ever because clearly he has the mind for it. And if he's willing when he retires to actually call it like he sees it with the players and be like, this was good, this wasn't, this was good coaching, this wasn't, everyone will watch him. If it looks like it's vanilla, they won't as much, but I think he could do it. And he
can play any major role he wants. He wants to be a coach. He'll be a great coach. He wants to be a GM. I think he'll be a great GM. He wants to be a broadcaster. I think he could be the best broadcaster. So he's an enormous talent, man. And he's like the real deal because he's such a cerebral player, and yet he's so verbal, and he's got this attitude and swag about him. That's awesome. To me, Draymond and all the people who said, "Oh, how could he possibly do a podcast?" Well, the finals is going on. Like what? What do you think these guys do all day? They're doing something. They're watching TV or who knows, playing with their whatever, playing video games. I mean, the fact that he couldn't do a podcast, he can't talk during the finals. I thought that was kind of funny.
Just think of it as another press conference he did that night. Yeah. And the idea of what makes his show so attractive is I don't understand basketball the way I understand football. Like when I watch football, I can tell you why a team won, why a team lost. And that's a very complicated conversation that most, fans can't actually do. I can't do it in basketball as much. And when I watch Draymond, I'm like, oh, this is what they did. And it's so enlightening. And anytime a big game goes out, if he did a video, this is why so-and-so, this team won, this is why the outcome was what it was, I would learn from it. And I think he could really make a big career just doing stuff like that. I wish he would focus his analysis more on that stuff than on settling vendettas with media people who slighted him at some point.
I know, but I bet you anything that like 75% of the audience is there for the vendetta talk and only like 25% of the audience, maybe you and I, but we're there for the analysis. But the vendetta talk probably is what most people probably want to see him rip Perkins.
It's true. But again, what I would say to Draymond is, Draymond, that's old media.
Yeah.
You're ripping old media, but you're doing it. Like, that's drama. You're trying to educate. Because what do you say? New media is educating the fans about the game. Educate them, man. You're the best at it. Please, you are the best at it. Remember Kobe tried a few years ago, he did that. He was like inside the game. I think Draymond can do it better than that. He's the point guard on offense. He's the anchor on defense. He's got the best vision of the sport. He can do it. He does it.
He's a point guard. He's their point guard basically. And he has kind of a point guard's mindset, and he sees the game as a point guard. Oh, the guys, and the Warriors allow him in their draft room because he's got insights into personnel, into people. I think he's got a genius to him for sure. And I think he's going to make a ton of money off the floor.
I think as successful as he's been as a player, 4-time champ, I think he's going to be even more successful as an announcer. I think he's going to own this sport the way that Charles Barkley and Shaq do. But I mean, he's got so much more potential than Shaq. Shaq's a personality. Shaq's not there for big time analysis. Draymond's everything, right?
Yeah. Shaq is lovable. Shaq is the guy who's, has these acts of kindness and perspective. And he's like
the big friendly giant.
Yeah, exactly. He's a big friendly giant. Where Draymond's more like Barkley. He's going to throw more daggers, but it also people tune in for Barkley, and they're going to tune in for Draymond.
Well, Barkley has humor. When Barkley says stuff, like part of it is like, is he serious or is he saying it with it? Draymond is dead serious. You know what I mean? Like I guess he has humor, but he's very, very like in your face, and I'm looking forward to that. That's a lot of fun because
he's the one guy. He's the one guy I haven't interviewed that I'd love to. Is Green.
Yeah. Now, I wonder what he'd be like now. I mean, 10 years ago, he was phenomenal. 10 years ago, he was a backup, though. It was amazing. I was asking because my dad told me that he called himself the leader of the bench, which I'd never heard of. How can you lead from the bench? Well, he explained the whole thing in like 15 minutes. He was like, it was amazing.
David Lee started, and he came off the bench.
Yeah, that's right. Bogut and David Lee were the starting front court. And the Warriors didn't understand for a while that Draymond Green was the key third piece of their big three. They didn't know.
And people to this day don't want to give him his, like, oh, he's just like lucky and this and that. Yeah. All these media people want.
You could see what he would really do. Like,
well, or all these. In the league. All these Northeast media people were just convinced that he was going to – the Celtics fans are in his head and he's going to go south. You knew he was going to adjust. You knew he was coming back. That little kiss off the glass in Game 6 to begin the first quarter was like an announcement to the national to the media and to the crowd in Boston. You know what? I put in the reps. I did think it was interesting, though, that Kerr said, hey, Boston's crowd crossed the line. The FU Draymond with his kid in the stands is a little harsh when the entire crowd's chanting it.
I don't know. I grew up going to A's games where people would just chant, fuck the Yankees, even if the Yankees weren't in town. And we did it all the time. I guess, I don't know. We were mean back then. Rude. Yeah. It was a ruder era.
Yeah, exactly.
Sven says, late to the party. Are we really getting Baker over Jimmy? I think Baker's going to Seattle. That's my best guess. What do you think? What happens to Baker?
I like Baker. I liked Baker in the draft, and I like Baker. I just think Baker is talked too much. His commercial to touchdown ratio is all skewed. Yes. He's done way too many commercials. He's, if you put Baker Mayfield in a Kyle Shanahan offense with the weapons the Niners have and the genius of Kyle's, play action game fusion and all that, I think Baker would be a terrific quarterback. I really do. I think Baker's significantly better than Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's like these quarterbacks.
But he also makes $18 million, and I don't know how that helps you on the cap.
There's these quarterbacks that are highly drafted and then they're like busts. They don't work out. But sometimes it's because they suck, Sam Darnold. Or sometimes it's because the organization they were drafted into sucks. And I think that could be Baker. I don't know that he's ever going to be like a top 10 quarterback, but he might be a top 15 guy. And if you put him on a good team, you actually might go to a Super Bowl with him. I mean, he's more gifted than Jimmy. He can throw the ball down the field. He can spin the hell out of it.
He can throw it. He can move. He can make plays off schedule. The only thing I wonder about Baker is the maturity. How mature is he? Can he lead? Can he lead the room? You know, it's not a room full of kindergartners. These guys are men, and they know fakes, and they know guys who are posers, and they can smell a fake a mile away. And if he's got anything that's fake about his persona, it won't fly. But I'm just looking at his game, and I just think if you watched his game and you put his game in the Niners situation, I think he'd flourish.
I think a lot of people around the league think that he made Odell Beckham look bad. He was making Odell Beckham look like he was unprofessional and lost a step or whatever. And then Odell Beckham's dad came out with all those time he was open and Baker wouldn't throw him the ball. Then he went to the Rams and really did produce. And I think a lot of people around the league are looking at him like, why do I want to play with you? You made this superstar look bad. What are you going to do with me? I think Baker does need to be taken down a peg a little bit, be a backup for a while or something. Because he carries himself like he was made like a made man from college. Who cares that you won a Heisman Trophy? It doesn't matter. What have you done in the NFL? I think a lot of people look at him as not enough. So now he has to be humbled. I don't know if it's happening. I mean, he requested a trade. Who do you think you are? How many teams really want you? 1, 2?
And he was so broken down last year that his film sucks. I mean, like his film from this last year is terrible. I mean, he made some really bad decisions this last year, but he was playing, totally beat up. I mean, he just got his butt kicked. I mean, and by the end of the year, he was just a shadow of what he was healthy. So get healthy, get into a good offense, and make sure that wherever you go next, you get it right, because you're probably not going to get a third opportunity at a starting gig.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Baker. Good luck, Jimmy. Those are two guys I hope to not think about in the future ever again, but we'll see.